Okay, today we're going to play around with some text in perspective and extruding. So if I go to File, New, or New File, I can select any of these. If I go to Social, or any of these, we can go to Facebook here, Post, which is 1080 by 1350. Quite honestly, for what we're trying to do today, we can just type in 500 here, and then 500 here, and we'll be good to go. So that'll be a square anyway. So hit create and we'll have our artboard pop up. And then from here we go to the text tool here and click. We're going to just type something. I'm going to type an MVP. And then basically if I click on this, my selection tool across here, I have properties. If you don't see properties, it's going to be under window. So go to properties, and in here now when it's selected, I should be able to change the font format, and you can see as I'm scrolling through it's changing. I want a sans serif font, something that's big and thick. It'll help with the effect that we're trying to create. So there I have a thick sans serif font. Click on the corner here and then just drag this down. Right now I'm squashing it, but if I hold the shift key it will maintain the proportions, and that's what we want to do with this particular text today. So there's my text. I can double click on the fill pattern here. I can change the color to whatever I want it to be. So just pick a light blue for now. Click OK. And then from here we're going to go to Effect. Once you click on Effect, go down to 3D and Materials, and then slide over to Extrude and Bevel. So again, Effect, 3D Materials, Extrude and Bevel. Click on that. Give it a second, and then this dialog box will come up. We'll move this off to the side so you can see. And as you can see, it's already created a 3D effect for me. A couple of things we can do here. We can play around with the depth of this. Okay, we can play around with the depth. We can twist this and get some kind of cool, crazy effects. So there's lots of things that you can do with this, but that's just a couple. So for what I'm going to try and do here, just going to create that, and then you got the circle inside here. If you click on circle, the rotate, it will rotate it on the z-axis. Remember, we're working in 3 dimensions here, so height, width, and depth. Okay, so if I slide down here, again I can rotate it. If I come over here, I can rotate it using the end. Click on this. Just hover over this, double click an area. Okay, let me move this here. If I click it in the middle, I can rotate it through all 3 dimensions. So select an area that you like. Select something you think looks pretty cool, and then from there you can export that as a PNG and use that in Photoshop and such. So that's how you extrude. One other thing here as well is you got lots of different materials you can use here, but understand when you start using these materials it starts to eat up the computer as far as rendering and the amount of time it's going to take to render stuff. But you got all these kind of cool textures, kind of marble effects and things like that. It's working hard now to render it for me, and you can change the lighting effect. But again, this will all take time. I can change the angle of the light. So if I click on this little dot here, I can move the angle to create shadows how I want it to look. I can diffuse the light. Lots of different things I can do here. The intensity of the light, the rotation of the light, the height of the light, the distance, the softness, intensity, shadows, and all that good stuff. So there's a lot of things you can do with text here in Illustrator.